Hello everyone, I am Rubina Banu from Sri Jayachamarajendrana College of Engineering, Mysuru. My research supervisor is Dr. M.S. Sidram. He is an associate professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Title of my contribution is Object Detection with Occlusion Handling in Maritime Surveillance using Histogram of Oriented Gradient. These are the outline of my presentation, that is introduction followed by the literature survey, problem statement, proposed method, experiment result and references. Let's start with an introduction. Video surveillance is an active research topic in computer vision that detect, recognize, and track the object over a sequence of images. There are three types of surveillance, such as normal, aerial, and maritime video surveillance. Maritime video surveillance can be defined as the effective recognition of all maritime activities that impact the security, the economy, and or the environment. Moreover, the presence of the environmental protection issue and the new dangerous threats coming from the sea, including illegal smuggling, fishing, immigration, and many more. These kind of problem will encourage us the development of intelligent monitoring system. It can be employed to increase the security of the ports, warship against pirates, terrorist attack, and many more. And many more. In the earlier days, the radar system has been extensively used in maritime environment. This generally requires large metallic target, but in modern pirates favor small, fast, rigid inflatable boats that are mainly non-metallic, and thus it's difficult to detect the object. This is the reason the researchers have been using computer vision system to solve this problem. This automated video surveillance system are able to constantly monitor the camera feed and keep track of the number of objects of interest around the scene. This object tracking is like observing the interpreted or particular or suspicious object in a complicated environment. When come to the maritime surveillance, there exists many challenges are still exists while detecting and tracking an object, like illusion, low visibility, cast shadow, and most importantly, the occlusion of the object. Occlusion is the basic element that limit the information in an image. This occlusion occurs when the distance target are concealed by the object closer to the observer. This occlusion might be partial or full. In literature survey, from thorough survey, it has been analyzed that many researchers have done work in maritime video surveillance of detecting and tracking, but very less amount of work have been carried out in occlusion handling issues. These are the work done on the occlusion handling issues. We'll see one by one. In 2005, Charles and Bibby, they have used the methodology like mean shift gradient information, background suppression, Bhattacharya surface, and they have used the full occlusion condition. They have used their own data set. As a result, they successfully tracked the several scenes, including the existence of the unmodeled ego motions, and which is compensated by the closed loop inertia feedback control. As a remark, they have not addressed the issue of automatic target acquisition, which would be crucial for search and rescue mission. And in 2009, we et al. They have used the methods like of transform, water model estimation, non-water object detection, morphological operation, many more. And here also they have used full occlusion condition. And again, they have used their own data set with the different weather condition in sea states. Here they have compared their result with the SVM and multi-class Navy bias classifier, and they found that hierarchical classifier performs consistently better than the other classifier. Here, the system not only detect, classify, track various maritime targets, but also help using the heterogeneous target information from various sources. In 2011, Sparks at all. They have used the methods like motion clue generation, probability density function, heuristic spatial regularization, spatial smoothness, etc. Here they have used full occlusion condition. Again, they have used their own data set. As a result, they found results are very good if the tracker loses the target and no false positive targets are detected. As a result is good, trackers occasionally loses the target but recovers shortly, and the target fails when there are too many false positive. As a remark, when contrast between the target and ocean is very poor, the background process will fail to detect the motion of the target. And in 2011, Ashir K. Bachu, they've used a method like particle filter, recursive Bayesian estimation, Gaussian covariance matrix, etc. Here they have used both full and partial occlusion condition. Again, it's their own data set. As a result, here the system tracks a target with an error of less than 2.5 percentage. Here, when there is no tracking the target, mean error is very high. Mean error is relative low when tracking the target. In 2013, Bao Zinger, they have used context-based motion similarity and motion saliency analysis methods. Again, they have worked on both full and partial occlusion condition. Here they have used their own data set in the coastal area of Netherlands. Here they have achieved 97.6 percentage and 89.4% recall and precision respectively. As a result, here it detects each individual ship even when there are significant occlusion among ship and occlusion. In Zhou Myo et al. In 2016, they have used technologies like plane wave grid, spatio-temporal model, initial scale and depth of the tracked obstacle, etc. Here they worked on full occlusion condition. Again, here they have used their own data set. They have got 99.3 percentage when two boats move from near to far at the same time. Here no occlusion. 93.7 when two boats move from far to near at different time. Again here no occlusion condition. They achieved 90.5 percentage when two boats move towards each other along horizontal axis, and occlusion happens when they cross each other. Here we can see the result will decreases when the occlusion takes place. Here as a result, your object is occluded and reappear only based on the depth information, which may be insufficient and weaken the reliability of the occlusion handling. In 2016, Domenico et al. They have used R classifier, Hawk transform, distributed particle filter, K clusterized color histogram methods. They have again worked on both partial and full occlusion condition. They have used online available MAR-DTC dataset, that is Maritime Detection Classification Tracking. Here, as a result, they have achieved multiple object tracking precision rises from 0.613 to 0.871, and multiple object tracking accuracy from 0.815 to 0.975. As a remark, this system requires more computational power. The tracking power improved in case of multiple data sources as compared only to camera data. From all this, it has been observed that present technology failed to give promising result in object tracking with occlusion handling. Hence, more work is needed in this field to achieve the good result. When occlusion takes place, the performance of the detection and tracking system will reduces. So outcome of the research work would be to come out with the proper strategy that should be implemented for successful detection of the object with occlusion condition. This is the data set I'm using for MAR-DCT, using for my work, that is MAR-DCT, that is Maritime Detection Classification Tracking, which is available in online. They have three video for detection with occlusion condition, that is Italy occlusion 1, Italy occlusion 2 and occlusion 3. And for tracking, they have occlusion 1 and occlusion 2. They have some 1532 positive images and negative images for training testing purposes. In the proposed method, here you can see the object detection model. First, here we'll convert video into frames, and that frames will be given to the horizon line detection. The output of this horizon line detection images will be given to the HOG, that is histogram of oriented gradient, and finally we can see the detection result. The process of this will be we'll see step by step. Here first we will convert the video into images, and that images will be given to the horizon line detection. This horizon line detection will separate the region into sky and the water region. Here, in order to detect the horizon line, Sobel operator and the morphological operation are performed. Why we need this horizon line? Because there are chance of detecting the sky region object as a object of interest during the detection process, which will increases the false positive. So in this work, horizon line detected before the sequence of images given to the HOG in order to avoid the false positive. Here the Sobel filter has been used, which has two kernels, that is 3 cross 3. It has a constant value, that is 1 0 minus 1. Here the Gaussian kernel will play an important role. The fundamental idea behind this Gaussian filter is the center value will have more weight than to the rest, and then this into value will be convoluted, and we will get the Sobel x value. And here we will calculate it in the kernel value in the y direction, and we will get the Sobel y value, that is Sx and Sy, and this Sx and Sy will convoluted with the image intensity of each pixel in an image, and the Sobel gradient approximation can be calculated by using the formula, that is G is equal to square root of Sx square plus Sy square. And finally, this G will be compared against the threshold value. For example, if the threshold value is 50, then that value will be compared with the G. If it is greater than 50, then it will be considered as an edge. If it is less than 50, it will not consider as an edge. And come to the histogram of oriented gradient. It is the feature vector used to detect object in a computer vision. And this horizontal and vertical gradient, which is smoothly accomplished by filtering the image using the following kernel. And here you can see that kernel values, and then the gradients magnitude and direction found by calculating by utilizing the below formula, that is G is equal to square root of G square x plus G square y, and theta is equal to arc tan Gy divided by Gx. We can see the workflow of this. You can see here, first we'll resize the original image, for example that is 64 cross 128, and then divide the images into the 8 cross 16 grid, and each block in this grid will be an 8 cross 8 pixel that you can see in the image. And then we'll calculate the gradient vector of magnitude and direction of each pixel in an image. Then we'll calculate the HOG. Once we'll got the HOG, we'll do the normalization, and you can see the normalization value of it will be appear, and then we'll form the feature vector. This is how the working process has done. First we'll give the positive and negative images to the train cascade object detector. Here the function fx, it will set the function parameter, and in cascade classifier, like it's a training phase, it will train the images like in stage 1 and stage 2 and stage 3, and then n number of stages, and that training will be values will be stored in the .xml file, which will be given to the Vision Cascade Object Detector, and this is the testing phase. It will detect the object of interest in an image. Once the object of interest image is detected, it will put a bounding box over it. Here we have used some 1532 positive images and 4089 negative images. We'll see how this training place takes place in a stage. Here you can see train stage. In first stage, it will calculate the number of positive samples which is less than the total number of positive samples which is given by us, and it will generate the negative samples from user provided negative images. And in training, in stage 2 of the training, it will use this the stage 1, and it will classify all the positive samples and discards the samples which is misclassified as negative. Again, from the remaining positive images, it used the same calculated number of positive samples, and again it will generate the negative samples by processing the negative images with sliding window and using the false positive classified samples. Till the stage n, the process will repeat, like again it uses the previous stages and classify all the positive samples and discard the samples which is misclassified as negative, and from the remaining positive samples, it calculates the number of positive samples, and for negative samples generated by processing the negative image with sliding window and false positive classified samples. This is how the work process has done. Here, in order to evaluate the detection accuracy, we have considered true positive rate and false alarm rate, that is TPR and FAR. Here you can see the detection result using the HOG. That here I have you considered three videos, that is occlusion 1, occlusion 2 and occlusion 3, and of course the horizon line is detected for all the three videos. Here the HOG result is compared against the base paper R method. As a result, have achieved the true positive rate from 0.780 to 0.998, and for occlusion and occlusion 2 and occlusion 3, the TPR remains same. The TPR result will be remain same, that is 1 and 1. Here you can see the horizon line detected images and the object detected images for all the three videos, that is occlusion 1, occlusion 2 and occlusion 3. As a future work, the obtained result of detection will be given as input to the tracking algorithm in order to obtain accurate tracking result with handling the occlusion. These are the references. Thank you.